Wonderful win by South Africa. Then the series is 1-all at this point of time, and you've got to give full credit to South Africa for the way they played today and made a comeback in this series. We spoke about the power play and how it's going to be always crucial in ODI cricket, and we saw today that Nandre Berger was quite special with the ball, which is why he also joins us here on pitch side alongside JP Dumini. Thank you so much, Nandre, for joining us. Firstly, many congratulations on winning, because it was exactly what was required from South Africa. Tell us a little about the conditions, because the first ODI that we saw seemed slightly different in terms of how the wicket was behaving.
Firstly, thank you very much. Yeah, much needed win by the team. Obviously gives us good confidence going into the third ODI. And in terms of conditions, I just think the main difference was the dew in the second innings today. I think the wicket played pretty similar in the first innings. I just think the main difference for us batting second tonight was the dew factor.
In terms of your bowling strategy, we saw that you use the short ball as well, the odd short ball. I mean, what were you thinking in terms of how to get these wickets? What was your bowling plan?
Yeah, I think it's pretty much just try to be as aggressive as possible. I think my role is kind of to try to take wickets in the power play. So whatever I feel on the day, whatever I feel could make an impact on the day, I'm going to try and do. So yeah, today was just trying to get them to hit the ball as straight as possible, obviously use a short ball, and yeah, thankfully it came off.
Just in terms of then, when you lose the first game as a side, how do you then sort of regroup together and make a comeback? It's important, because when you talk about confidence and giving each other that kind of support, having that environment, talk us through that environment in the dressing room. A lot of your main players are not playing in this series. So, I mean, how do you get that positivity in the environment?
Yeah, I think you say the main players aren't here, so there's a lot of hunger in the group. Everyone obviously wants to become the main player, so I think that kind of builds a lot of hunger. And yeah, I just think everyone wants to impact wins for their country, and that's all we want at the end of the day.
Yeah, it's been exceptional, hasn't it, Nandre? And I think the thinking that I'm wanting to bring in is really the leadership. And just to follow up on Zainab's question there, Matthew Breedske, new leader in ODI cricket. How have you found to bowl under him?
Yeah, obviously, if you know Matthew, he's a pretty aggressive character. He really wants to win, and he's very competitive, so he's kind of brought that spirit as a captain into the team, and I really think it's helped us in difficult conditions that we aren't used to really find a way to win.
Oh, awesome.
What about your length then? We're showing your pitch map here as well. What was your target? Where were you looking to bowl?
In all honesty, I saw little spots on the pitch and I just tried to hit it. But yeah, obviously we just try to make sure we hit the top of the stumps as aggressive as possible, and yeah, hopefully the batsman makes a mistake. Wickets are normally quite good here, and as I said today, it came off for me.
And the South African batters didn't make any mistake whatsoever because they were so comfortable with that chase. Quinton de Kock, he's come back to that side, and the way he's sort of delivered and taken that responsibility. As a side, you must be really pleased with the way he's performed.
Yeah, I think that was an exceptional knock, probably one of the best I've seen. I can only think of one chance he gave early on, and it landed short of Nawaz, I think it was. But yeah, I just think he brings a calm demeanor and obviously a lot of experience at the top of the order. And I think he's coming with a new hunger to try and impact wins for South Africa, so that's nice to see.
And that's certainly been the standout, just highlighting Quinton de Kock here, where it seems like there's a rejuvenated spirit with him coming into this change room again. Is that seems to be the sense that he brings, that calmness, he brings that leadership also into the change room?
Yeah, 100%. I think Quinny is obviously someone that also wants to win. He's quite competitive. He doesn't always show it, but yeah, I think he's brought a good learning and good understanding for all of us to learn off. And yeah, I think, as I say, he's coming with a lot of experience. I know it's his first time playing here, but he's definitely by far the most experienced player in the squad. So yeah, he's just brought that kind of calmness and just willingness to win.
Tony de Zorzi is having a great tour. He did well in the Test series, and now he's scoring runs with a bat in this one-day international series. I mean, what kind of an influence is he in that dressing room?
Yeah, I think Tony's a very calm guy, very chilled. He just wants to get out. He enjoys batting, so I think he just wants to spend as much time out in the middle. He gets to take cool photos when he scores runs, so I think that's what it is for him. He gets to post on social media, so yeah.
He could be in that Hello Hair ad as well, with the mane that he has.
Content creator. He's a content creator.
Content creator, that's the word, yeah. 100%.
No, we need to find out what is the secret behind those luscious locks.
Yeah, every time every time they show the ads, they're always showing Tony. I think the crowd loves it as well. But yeah, he's obviously playing with it. So who knows, maybe he's got a Hello Hair sponsor in the future.
I mean, JP, this is the spirit that we're talking about, you know, team spirit that's there, despite the fact that maybe 5 or 6 of your main players are not here. How does a team with relatively inexperienced individuals come together and deliver? I mean, what is the secret behind that?
I think it's, you know, finding a common purpose. And yes, everybody wants to win, but finding something outside of just the winning that is going to bring people together. And I think that is largely around behaviors that we want to see in a tour, right? And it's not only about on the field. So yes, there's not a lot of days off, but when you have off days, you'll find guys that connect on a social level. Something that I thought about, and I think I saw it on camera as well. Nanda Burger loves his coffee, so he's probably brought a coffee machine, making some coffee for the guys, bringing them into his room.
Where are our beans?
I charged them about, I don't know how much it is in rupees, but 40 Rand a coffee. So if they want, they can come. I have to make profit as well. So yeah.
So
smart. This is smart. You
Exactly.
know?
I'm a businessman.
That X factor around understanding that, you know, when you get an opportunity out in the middle, somebody needs to put up their hand. And I think we've seen some glimpses of that. And I love the fact that this series has shown some ebb and flow. We think about the Test series, we think about the ODI series, and now coming down to the wire again for the ODI series. So it's set up beautifully for a great finale. And I'm sure from Nanda's point of view, you'd want to start well, whether batting or bowling first. You know, the leadership stands with you, doesn't it? In terms of having the new ball, you want to make an impact, and I've no doubt you'll do the same.
Absolutely. I mean, final thoughts, parting thoughts, that third one-day international, all geared up for that. The series is 1-all, so a real great chance to end the tour on a positive note.
Yeah, I think it's always exciting, essentially playing in a final. Obviously, there'll always be a bit of nerves around, but I think everyone wants to finish the tour off on a high. It was a good Test series, and obviously it was a tough T20 series, but we want to finish the one-day series on a high. So I'm sure everyone will come out ready to go, and I'm sure it'll be the same for the Pakistan
Win a
guys,
toss as well.
And win the toss. I mean, it's 0 out of 7 at the moment.
Today is an example of how you didn't win the toss, but you still went on to win the game.
That's also true. That's also
so at the end of the day, congratulations once again, and good luck for that all-important one-day international. Thank you so much for your thoughts. Thank you for being here on Pitchside. We'll take a short breather on Pitchside, and when we do come back, we'll be joined by Ramiz Raja to have a closer look at the game. Right then, back on Pitchside, just looking at how things went in the second international here, where South Africa has won. This is how the series has gone overall. The Test series was drawn, T20 international series was won by Pakistan, and the ODI series is set up really nicely because it's all down to the wire for that third ODI international, which will be played on the 8th of November. Well, we've been joined by Ramiz Raja to talk about Pakistan and where they went wrong, because surely not Pakistan's day, the way Pakistan performed and delivered, but just in terms of where they sort of lost it, there's a couple of points. Where would you like to start?
I think batting up front, not enough confidence in the middle phase of the innings, and that can happen because you don't have a flourishing late middle order. And so whosoever then gets in wants to get stuck and sort of take it upon himself to not fail. And that can derail you from your target. And a target on the surface clearly was 300. I mean, and there were massive blows up front. Burger, their ball with a lot of hostility, a lot of pace, got rid of the top three. And overall, I think everything worked so well for South Africa. The team selection, you know, reading of the pitch, you know, their fast bowlers putting in the effort, the spinners coming into their own, and siding, blowing away Pakistan, in fact, with the bat. And so it's an issue. It's a crisis. It's a confidence issue at times. It's skill issue at times. It's a collective capitulation at times. So I'm not too sure what happens, you know, after doing so well in one game. You know, the second game is not as hot as it was supposed to be. This is a rookie South African team. You take a couple of players out and it becomes a very young side. And to have that inbuilt confidence, which is typical South African confidence. You know, they never give up. And even though Pakistan tried their hand at hitting the big shots in the last part of the innings, but it was just not enough runs, JP. They were clearly about 30, 40 runs short.
Yeah, on the onset, you'd think, you know, how the conditions end up playing. I spoke about it on comms a little bit earlier as well. In the second half of the first innings in the first game, we saw there was quite a lot of turn that was on offer, but we certainly didn't see that today. There was no demons in the pitch. Kudos to South Africa in the execution of their skill. I spoke about the margin of error being very small, so you know, to be that accurate, you have to give credit where credit is due. And then to come out, yes, you can see here there was a little bit of dew on offer, which probably allowed the ball to come on a little bit better for the South African batters. But just the precision that they showed, and really the positiveness in terms of their stroke play and options that they took, really trying to dominate with aerial options as well. I think about the opening partnership stand of 81 between Pretorius and de Kock, really stamped the authority on that innings, and it was a real pleasure to watch, you know, from a batting point of view.
And if there was, I mean, you've got to keep the dew factor in mind when you win the toss, decide to bat first. You've got to pad up the score with extra 20, 30 runs, definitely. And Pakistan obviously didn't have the strength in the end to get to a 300 score.
Even the bowling, of course, you had some late, flourish from Mohammad Nawaz and Fahim Ashraf chipping in with that cameo, and you got to 270 because at one point it looked like you wouldn't even be reaching there. So, just in terms of the bowling, could they have done anything differently with regards to defending that total?
I think so. They needed a massive breakthrough up front with the new ball in the first 6 overs. That did not materialize. Then they weren't as disciplined as the situation wanted them to be. So they sprayed the ball around, and in the end, it was just too awkward and too late for them to make a recovery because of the dewy conditions and also the fact that South Africa batted brilliantly. It was, I mean, they bossed the situation completely with the bat. And, you know, glimpses of hope through maybe Wasim Jr. for about 2-3 overs. But the spinners really did have a tough gig. And then, I mean, unless Shaheen Shah Afridi and Naseem Shah, pick wickets, it was always going to be tough. So they had to lead them from the front.
Quinton de Kock certainly led from the front with the bat, with the kind of runs he scored, and he's got all that experience in the world. How much is it going to help his confidence, the fact that he's come back and managed to score 100 in subcontinent conditions?
Well, it was interesting listening to some of the stats around, particularly chasing for South Africa. When he's scored more than 50, 75% of the games were won by South Africa. And that shows the impact that he's had in ODI cricket, the ability to score hundreds. I think he's got 22 hundreds now. I know it's his second against Pakistan. But just listening to him at the post-match presentation, you can sense that there's a calmness about him now. 2 years later, coming into international cricket, there's a renewed hunger about him and the willingness to want to do well for his country again. You know, when you have that type of Quinny de Kock in the change room, I think it can only bode well for a South African side in whatever format you play.
I think another thing that when you talk about Pakistan batting is you look at Quinton de Kock and his average and his numbers, the fact that he scored 100. It's been quite a while where, since we've actually seen a Pakistani batter score a big 100. I mean, why is that? Because you're talking about the ODI format where it's pretty regular to see hundreds by batsmen that you expect to deliver.
Yeah, I mean, it's a good question. I don't have an answer, actually, because I don't know what is happening in the dugout, how they're feeling mentally. It's a mental thing more than anything else. And once you start winning, then everything falls into place also. And Pakistan have been sort of haphazard in their approach. At times they've been very good for about a couple of matches, and then everything falls down, and so they have to recover and restart again. If they start winning, maybe then we'll see the top order clicking and some of the players getting hundreds.
All right then. Well, the action continues for that third one-day international. Remember, the series is 1-1 at this point of time, and whoever basically goes on to win that takes the trophy home. Right then, JP, thoughts on that last one-day international?
Yeah, I'm excited for it, and another opportunity to test the character of both sides. And you're coming into a final, you have to bring your A game. You have to understand the conditions well. How are we going to execute our skill, communicate it around the change room? And again, from a South African standpoint, it's a young team, and I really want to see some good character stand up and put in some big performances.
Third ODI, that's the one chance Pakistan has to stay, to win the series and end it on a positive note. Anything that you would like from them in particular?
I don't know how the surface will be, because I was thinking that if they win today, you probably have a 300 surface for the last game. But I think now, from tactical point of view, they may have to prepare another square turner and take it from there. But it's a must-win game for Pakistan. They want to win this at home. Faisalabad hosting an international series after 17 years. It's a lot at stake. So take heart, move forward, learn from your mistakes, and make sure that there's less difference between the two sides, because it'll test them technically. That last game, it'll test them mentally. And you've got to be on top of the game. And Babar Azams of the world really would have to come to the party.
Well, Pakistan has a chance to be on top of their game, because the third one-day international is going to be played on Saturday. This is the final game of this entire tour. Started off with the Test series, then we had the T20 internationals, and now finally we are here for this KFC Presents Vigotel Mobile ODI series, which will be, all coverage will be starting at 2:25. All right, then. Thank you so much, gentlemen, for your thoughts and your insight. It's always a pleasure to have you guys on pitch side. It's been a fantastic comeback by South Africa. Just what you needed to keep the series alive. And plenty to look forward to for that game on Saturday. Until then, it's goodbye from all of us.